Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zakwan bin Muhammad Nasir and I'm from Johor, Malaysia. As for today, I'm going to share with you regarding of the biggest loss in forex scandal Malaysia in 1990s. For your information, Bank Negara Malaysia is a central bank that promotes monetary and financial stability in Malaysia's economy. Forex, on the other hand, what is it? Forex is a foreign exchange, and usually foreign exchange trading by financial institutions such as central bank, commercial banks such as Maybank Investment Bank or CIMB Investment Bank or any investment bank. They will trade the foreign exchange in order to stabilize the currency of one's country. Mind you that this kind of trading is not done by us, we mean by retailer, because we tend to use margin, we use leverage, and we don't use spot, but we use future. We use future and option and derivatives. So it has been controversial in the topic whether it's regulated and Sharia compliance or not. As far as I know, Mufti Wilayah has stated that Forex or foreign exchange trading is non-Sharia compliant. Why? Because it is not spot, and the reason has been stated before. So let's just leave it there. Getting back to the topic, in this speech, I will categorize into three parts. First one is the history, second one is the crisis, and then the third one is the reflection that we can learn from it. Moving to the first one. Part 1, history. So we all know that a few centuries ago, we used a barter system, such as if I have a tie, I can exchange with a pen or so on. But then the problem arises when I have a tie, and then what I want a guitar. So the value isn't the same, right? And then we have to move to use something as a medium of exchange. And the public has been stated that they use scarce commodities such as copper, such as silver, gold, and so on. And they will use that as a medium of transaction, such as in Arabic, they use dirham, right? You have to know that. And then moving on, after the scarcity has been very scarce, the commodities has been very scarce, and then the population are growing. What the government provides? The government, they could provide a solution which is currency. For us, in Malaysia, we have Malaysian ringgit, and then US have United States of dollar USD, or Canada have Canada dollar, Japanese have Japanese yen. And then moving on, there was also agreement in Bretton Woods 1944. The agreement has stated that all of the currency will have to against or pegged by USD, only US, and then the US will have to peg or against the dollar, relative to the dollar. Besides that, in Bretton Woods, it also an agreement in 1944, 44 nations have been agreed to create a new thing, which is IMF, International Monetary Fund, which determine the fixed rate of exchange of the currency around the world. And then they also agreed upon the creation of World Bank, which is the economic development and cooperation to create a more stable and prosperous global economy. And then moving on, after that, President Richard Nixon in 1971 has been stated that all of the currency that are relative or against the USD will not against the gold anymore. So the USD has been floating around it. And then that's when the float market or the Forex, the floating market has been existed. When the market has been floated or the Forex trading has been introduced, the Plaza Accord was an agreement to depreciate a little bit of the US currency. Why is it? Because the government of USD even couldn't handle it, because all of the nation will have to face the high currency of one nation. It is like monopoly, isn't it? And then we live in a country, so we also need some other currency that can provide a solution. Hence, they use German mark and then Japanese yen. So those two currency has been pegged against the US, and then most of the international currency or currency around the world, they will against these three currency, which is USD, Japanese yen, and Deutsche Mark, which is the German Deutsche Mark. And then moving on, also of the currency has been appreciated, but the US also depreciated a little bit. And then the lower accord was introduced to combat the problem of Japanese yen, because after the Japanese yen has been increased, they also have a slow and lost decade of the Japan. Hence, a new agreement was conducted, which is the Love Accord. It was signed in 1987 to stop continuing the decline of the dollar and stabilize the exchange rate. The Love Accord was implemented to partially reverse the policies carried out under Plaza Accord, which is to raise up back the currency of United States dollar, and then maybe a little bit slower for the Japanese yen and German Deutschmark, isn't it? And then they also have country G5 that have been stated before: Canada, France, West Germany, UK. So they all have their own currency, and then mostly the international currency, or this international currency, they will also be as a benchmark, so the other currency will back on or trade with the currency international, such as France, such as UK, GBP, and then West German Deutschmark, Canada dollar. Hence, all of the currency that I have stated has been increased tremendously, including the GBP. Moving to the second part, which is the crisis. Forex in Malaysia relates with the Black Wednesday tragedy. The GBP, or Great Pound Britain, is part of ERM, which is exchange rate mechanism. It means that the people can trade euro currency with the GBP. In euro currency, in the moment we have German Deutschmark, and then we have Swiss franc, and so on. Then the GBP in the moment is depreciate. Bank of England (BOE) provide a solution to increase the interest rate in 1990s up to 15%, and then it is too high, and then caught the attention of hedge fund managers such as George Soros in Quantum hedge fund, and then Robin Hood hedge fund managers such as Paul Tudor Jones and Bruce Covenant, and then they will have to sell. They took the opportunity to sell or short, in the language, short the currency of GBP. And then from that, the Great Pound Britain, or BOE, Bank of England, have lost 6.5 billion US dollar. And then George Soros also has managed to gain a profit handsomely of $1 billion. So you might be wondering, what is the relation between Malaysia Forex scandal with this tragedy in Black Wednesday? Truth to be told, we lost billions in USD in this kind of tragedy. BNM, or Bank Negara Malaysia, thought that there is fortress euro, which means that the economy of euro countries are doing well, especially the Bank of England in United Kingdom since World War II. And for your information, BNM also has traded speculate aggressively, which is up to 5 to 10% in their capable of losing. And then the finance minister, which is Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim and Tan Sri Zeti Akhtar Aziz, were in London, so they know the information after the news has been spread. And in 1944, the Parliament, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim has been stated that BNM suffered a loss of 5.7 billion. And they will take a rapid action to recover it. So, what are the solutions provided by the government to recover this loss? The government made three actions. Firstly, they sold a share of Malaysian airline MAS to Tan Sri Tajuddin Ramli, and secondly, they also sell their stake to MISC, which is the Malaysian International Shipping Company, to EPF, or KWSP. And then last but not least, the government also sell their stake in Telekom Malaysia (TM) and also Tenaga Nasional Berhad (TNB) to be under the BNM's asset management. The issue has been quiet for a while, and since there's Asian financial crisis in 1997 and 1998. And then moving on to the 2000, Tan Sri Dr. Zeti Aziz has become the governor, and then in 2007 she opened back the case of Forex scandal issue. Correspondingly, the issue, and then after done their research, it shows that the loss was 32.1 billion ringgit in Malaysia. 10 years later, in 2017, the Royal Commission of Inquiry (RCI) has been investigating this issue. According to the Age, RCI stated that BNM has suffered a total loss of 31.5 billion ringgit Malaysia, or equivalent of 10 billion USD in the moment. So it's a huge loss, and then it's bigger than the Bank of England has been lost. So what can we reflect? Lastly, part 3, reflection. One can wonder why BNM lost 10 billion US dollar, which is a huge loss as compared to Bank of England that only lost 6.5 billion US dollar. To answer this question, Encik Fizaman Noor has been stated, he was a trader on that time, and he has stated that the trader execute the trade aggressively and highly speculative. By default, one can only trade up to 30 million US dollar in one day. However, they trade for up to 800 million USD per day, each of them. According to the Edge, Nasir Muhammad Yaakob, who was a chief dealer in BNM trading room, he stated that this issue is valid. He also executed the trade because his responsibility to hedge the other currency, but also against the market and hedge fund. That's why they lose. He also resigned in 1994 to take full responsibility towards his action. In 1997, he was called to help the Asian financial crisis to recover the economy in Malaysia, and then he did not convicted by any law or jurisdiction or anything because he has contributed a lot in Malaysia's economy. And then, as a matter of fact, he was also implement the Islamic banking in Malaysia since when he was in the second finance minister. Henceforth, in 2019, the jury or the judge decided that this case is considered as NFA, which is no further action, and this case is closed because the scandal does not causing any criminal offense, and then no jurisdiction stated under specific laws, and then it doesn't really relate with any personal gains by the politician, by the government servant, or any employees or staff. And then why the government closed the issue at the moment? This is because they want to avoid any panic created by the public domestically, because in the moment we have see that 1997 there also has been a Asian financial crisis, and it is so dangerous, so that they want to avoid the panic from it, and they want to gain the confidence of foreign investor for the FDI, foreign. Yes, that's it. So, what are the lessons that we learn from this issue? At first, we should know that it is important to obey the rule and regulation created by the regulators. This is because, for some reason, they know it, what could be worse, and they want to risk mitigate or less or minimize the risk, because prevention is better than cure. You know that. And then BNM itself has lost 10 billion USD when they execute the trade excessively than they could. Secondly, the lesson that I can learn, or we can learn, is the painful tragedy teach us to be rational in decision making, especially during hard times. Don't dwell your mistakes for too long, because it will come to a new problem. And then Tan Sri Noor Muhammad Yaakob is one of the good example of it. Even though he ordered the trade execution and lost for $10 billion, he also managed to recover the Asian financial crisis and contributes many ideas, a lot of it, for this nation. And as a finance minister during Tun Sri Najib Razak, and other execution that he has stated, such as Islamic banking implementation and so on. So it shows that there are many lessons that we can learn, and most importantly for traders out there, if you want to trade, please follow the trading rule, systematic trading rule, and in life generally we also have to make a proper risk management into either trader, investor, or anything in life. We have to. So that's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and have a nice day.